January 27. Dinner. The President and I had dinner on Friday, January 27 at 6:30 p.m. in the green room at the White House. He had called me at lunchtime that day and invited me to dinner that night, saying he was going to invite my whole family, but decided to just have me at this time, with the whole family coming next time. It was unclear from the conversation who else would be at dinner, although I assumed there would be others. It turned out just to be the two of us, seated at a small, oval table in the center of the green room. Two Navy stewards waited on us, only entering the room to serve us food and drinks. Another glass of wine, Comey? The President began by asking me whether I wanted to stay as FBI director, which I found strange because he had already told me twice in earlier conversations that he had hoped I would stay, and I assured him that I intended to. He said that lots of people wanted my job. Given the abuse I had taken during the previous year, he would understand if I wanted to walk away. My instincts told me that the one-on-one setting and the pretense that this was our first discussion about my position meant the dinner was, at least in part, an effort to have me ask for my job and create some sort of patronage relationship. That concerned me greatly, given the FBI's traditional independent status in the executive branch. I replied that I loved my work and intended to stay and serve out my 10-year term as director. And then, because the setup made me uneasy, I added that I was not reliable in the way politicians use that word, but he could always count on me to tell the truth. I added that I was not on anybody's political side and could not be counted on in the traditional political sense. A stance, I said, was in his best interest as president. A few moments later, the President said, "I need loyalty. I expect loyalty." I didn't move, speak, or change my facial expressions in any way during the awkward silence that followed. We simply looked at each other in silence. The conversation then moved on. But he returned to the subject near the end of our dinner. At one point, I explained why it was so important that the FBI and the Department of Justice be independent of the White House. I said it was a paradox. Throughout history, some presidents have decided that because problems come from justice, that they should try to hold the department close. But blurring those boundaries ultimately makes problems worse by undermining public trust in the institute and their work. Near the end of our dinner, the President returned to the subject of my job, saying he was very glad I wanted to stay, adding that he had heard great things about me from Jim, Jeff, and many others. He then said, "I need loyalty." I replied, "You will always get honesty from me." He paused and said, "That's what I want. Honest loyalty." I paused, then said, "You will get that from me."